you all know, football is the center core of the heart's pleasure. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Fanatique de Football. As usually promised, we will be serving you nothing, literally nothing, but the best. I'll start off to my right. I'll let him introduce himself and the team that he supports.
So, kama da Joshua hapa. Leo tuko long times with the area. Mimi mwenyewe mnanicheki hapa. Fan die hard on Manchester United. Na big up, man. Yeah, enjoy the show.
Wagwan Josh, on to my left.
Yeah, what's up, people? My name is Shamia, Liverpool fan, Team Cop here.
Wagwan. I'm sure you're familiar with this face, but not with this one. Tutakuwa tunaleta tu ma pundits each and every time, man. You know how we do it. At the Fanatique de Football. Nice. Starting off, we'll be having the managerial crisis. Since the EPL started, man, many teams have been experiencing the managerial crisis, in which 13 managers were fired. Shamia, I'll start with you. What do you think? Is it the right way to help a team, or is it the wrong way to help a team by firing the manager?
Man, of course, you have to give the lads some time. People just have to have the time to be able to grow the club. And kiangalia club ka Chelsea, they had Thomas Tuchel, the guy has a good CV and everything. So I think the best thing would have been to give Tuchel some time. But a time ago, he had signed people, kina Koulibaly, etc. So, yeah, you give the manager some time. Ukiangalia hata these big managers, kina Jurgen Klopp, of course, and you were saying, for the first 3 seasons, who didn't perform as expected. So, you just need to give them time. You just don't unatoa kila mtu, even though inafaa iende.
It's time for Shamia here. He thinks that giving one time will help a lot. Manuni Aklicha, what's your say?
So my opinion on the managerial crisis is that, okay, as my colleague has said, basically you have to give the coaches the time, because a lot of players kupata players wengine wa blend, especially the big talking point normally as for now we'll have to go to Chelsea, where they had a top, according to me they had a top manager by then. Alioletea success, he won the UEFA. That personally kwangu, that was the most shocking. But where's jua sikuzi pia tumefika futa imefika ni do na most of the owners, they are really impatient. They always want instant impact. Na for you kwenye wamezoea ball kitu kayo inakuwa ngumu, cause wezi pata now for we Chelsea brought in Potter. Potter, the things that he did at Brighton, they were supreme. Alifanya vitu crazy. But then your pressure from let me not underrate Brighton for where they are right now, but Potter penye alikuwa, we can say Brighton being an average team, so kutoa manager from an average to a huge club, that's Chelsea. Ile pressure. See quotes, okay, atkatai saying KFC, but kuna hiyo pressure inamletea. Then you can't back the manager. You give him 500M and let him have players. Then you give him less than even half a season. Okay, kwangu eko makes sense, but you never know. Now for the relegation battle, you need pressure. Most of them are bringing managers to put them back. But then there's a stat I saw that most of the transfers, most of the manager changes that happen to the relegation battles, most of them survive, most of them don't. So it depends. For Everton, kuleta Shondaish, hiyo ni massive, because isipokuwa tu venye Manchester ni Manchester, lazima tungewafinyanga. Everton they're on the rise. Kuna a certain type of game they are playing that they never played with Lampard, but never know. We just have to wait and see.
Sure. Licha seconds Shamia's opinion on timing. And these are the managers who got fired after the season started. Scott Parker was the first one to go. He was at Bournemouth, followed by Thomas Tuchel, and then Bruno Lage, Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa, and then we have Ralf Hasenhuttl, and then Frank Lampard, Everton. This after he was initially at Chelsea and then he went to Everton. Then Jesse March at Leeds, Nathan Jones, Southampton, Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace, Antonio Conte, Tottenham, Brendan Rodgers, Leicester, and the recent Graham Potter got sacked by Chelsea, not finishing his season. Second question I'll ask you guys. Licha, to you, Thomas Tuchel was it was a shock to you, a blow after he was sacked, right? Do you think he gave it all after winning the UCL, after the season started yet, or time vile umesema?
Okay, yes, running out in the Champions League was haikuwa rahisi because like for last season I remember they had Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Na Real any day any time like kwa UEFA only my beast. So like pressure really come afterwards. So like the major impact like he was to have after his expectations of win the Champions League, they were like massive. So the moment like results hazikuwa zina come, as I've said, like say my owners wako na ile pressure na kuwekea as a manager. So like the moment results don't come, and as my colleague has said, like tukiangalia the likes of Klopp and all, akina where as in Arteta, like progress imekuwa like mdogo. So for him to like come and just all of a sudden amewapatia UEFA, so like ile all of a sudden there is a downfall to them, like ikakama as a panic.
Yeah.
But kwangu I can just say like you have to give the gaffers some time. So
Sure. Shamia, on to you. Who was your surprise manager fired? Who was he and why?
Well, I think definitely Thomas Tuchel. If you look at CV ya ujamaa, ni kitu hefty sana na ni kitu hatukuwa tuna expect. Hata kama alikuwa anapigwa, but ilikuwa the same time pia Liverpool ilikuwa inapigwa. Teams kadhaa zilikuwa zina flop at that point in time. So hii ni progress ya manager, huwezi measure with barely even season haijafika nusu na unataka ufute mseme. So it was a bit difficult taking in that Thomas Tuchel amekuwa fired, but of course sisi kama mafans wa Liverpool we are very happy. Unajua it's better to face Graham Potter than ukiwa hapo na Thomas Tuchel and all these things. Hata sahi afadhali to face ikiwa na Frank Lampard kuliko una face ikiwa na Thomas Tuchel. So yeah, so I think that was a surprise package for the season, and it was a bit weird. Yeah.
Weird, Shamia says, but I'll also ask this question. Management, many thought the management was under the fire, the incidents, though vile Potter ameingia, vile alipewa the work, pia tumeona amechujwa. He hasn't been showing results yet. Chelsea changed their own ownership from Todd to Abramovich to Todd. So pia naona management inaweza kuwa a bit tricky, but yeah, well for me it was Patrick Vieira, man. Patrick alileta impact from having the Palace team. The Eagles were, I think they were facing relegation in the first 10 games, and then after the January signing he brought good and quality players wenye wakamfanya akuje somewhere at the mid table. Yes, kina Zaha, kina Jordan Ayew wamekuwa kicheza, but niliona Patrice alileta impact sana. So for me that was a surprise package kwa Managerial Crisis.